You know, a lot of people now buy baba ganoush and hummus all the time, and it's very expensive when you buy it at the store. And it also has a lot of preservatives. But when you make it at home, it's fresh and it doesn't have any of those things. So baba ganoush is really easy. They're both extremely easy to make. So here's how you make baba ganoush. You take, we'll say, 3 eggplants. You put them in a glass dish like this. You can put them in a metal dish, but if you have a glass dish, I prefer that. Poke 3 holes in each eggplant, and then put them in a preheated 400-degree oven for 1 hour. And so while we're waiting for our eggplant to cook, now I'm going to show you how to make hummus. Now you'll find a lot of recipes that tell you how to make hummus on the internet, but I'm going to show you a secret technique. I'm not going to give away my secret recipe, but I am going to show you a way to make hummus that's creamier and lighter and better tasting than the way that you are traditionally told to make hummus. So the first thing is the chickpeas, and I'm just going to use canned chickpeas this time. And I've already opened the chickpeas. But you want to drain the liquid out of the chickpeas. You know, anytime you use canned beans, you should always drain the liquid out, because you know the little rumor about beans, the magical fruit. That really has to do with the water that they're boiled in. The very first time you boil beans, they secrete a chemical, and that chemical is notorious for giving people gas. So the first water that you soak beans in, or the first water that you boil beans in, you want to discard. So this might be the first water, so we're just going to assume it is and discard it. So I've put it in here, and we have about 3 cups. I'm then going to get some water, preferably cold water. And I'm going to put about, actually I'm going to put exactly a cup, half a cup. I'm going to put a half a cup of cold water in those beans. Now this is where it gets noisy, but this is the secret to good hummus. You're going to get your Cuisinart. You're going to put your chickpeas in. And then so that I don't have to talk over this, while the chickpeas are pureeing, you're going to squeeze the juice of 2 lemons. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to put this juice in the chickpeas while the chickpeas are spinning. Now if you don't like garlic in your hummus, you can skip this step, but I like garlic, and so I'm going to put 3 pieces of garlic. And I don't know if you noticed, but this is a purple garlic. You see the skin's purple, and sometimes you'll find that in the grocery store, and usually purple garlic is spicier. It has more of an intense garlic flavor, and that's usually the difference. So I don't see it very often, but when I do see purple garlic, I buy it. And a lot of people have trouble peeling garlic, but if you notice what I did is I cut off the little base, and then I just take the knife and I smash it, and it comes off like that. So this will grind up pretty well, but I'm gonna just cut it a little bit. And then now I'm gonna grind it a lot. Okay, now like I said, most hummus recipes have you put all of these ingredients in the Cuisinart and blending it all at once. This technique of doing it in these steps will make your hummus fluffier and lighter. So these next steps I'm going to explain to you, then I'm going to do it. And the one thing I want you to pay attention to is how the sound changes in the Cuisinart as I add each one of these ingredients. Did you hear the sound change? So what you're doing here is when you're making the hummus like this, you're actually whipping the oil and the lemon together, much like you do in salad dressing. When you whip it up and it becomes creamy, it's the same kind of principle, and it'll give you a creamier style hummus than if you just mix it up. So now you're just going to take this hummus out, put it in a container, and put it in the refrigerator, and then it'll be ready for your family and friends to enjoy in just a couple hours. Okay, so it looks like our baba ganoush is ready. Oh. You'll see how roasted they are. They're kind of hard to the touch. And they're hot. Now you can let them cool, but since I want to show you how this is done, I'm not going to let them cool. I'm going to cut them like this in half, and then you're going to open it up and you'll see all the meat inside. And it's pretty easy. You just take a spoon. You might get a little bit of the skin, but you just kind of scrape it along the outside and it'll come right out of the skin. And you just scoop in there, kind of cut the top, then the rest of it just scoops right out. And do this last one. Whoops. Oop, I lost the top on that one. And then we scoop it out. You see how that beautiful eggplant comes out? And you look inside. And now you want to try to whip it just a little bit. It's pretty hot. You can wait for it to cool if you want to. It's a little bit easier to handle. Don't let it cool too much because the eggplant will stick back to the skin. So again, just like hummus, it's pretty basic ingredients. It's lemon, so we're going to put the juice of 1 lemon, and then I'm going to use this little tiny lemon too, so a little bit more than 1 lemon. You're going to put that lemon in and whisk it around. And then it's the same kind of technique that we did with the hummus, but you're just going to put a little bit of olive oil. Oops, I don't have any more olive oil there. 1/8 of a cup. 1/8 of a cup of olive oil in there. Mix that around. And then we're going to put the tahini in. Let's see how that goes. About a 1/4 cup of tahini, I would say, for 3 eggplants. A little bit more. I like a lot of tahini in my baba ghanoush. But about 1/3 of a cup. And you see how that's already gone from just looking like eggplant to this beautiful creamy texture. Now if you wanted to, you could put this in a Cuisinart, but I kind of like it lumpy, but you can just as easily put it in a Cuisinart. And then just to give it a little bit of kick, I like to put a couple splashes of Tabasco in it. And then you put that in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then it's ready for you to enjoy.